Ooh. 1 minute.
That's my brother, Felicia, and that's my sister.
Well, praise the Lord. Hallelujah. And thank you, Jesus. It's around that time right here on KAZ Radio, where I have one of my most favorite shows, Sisters of Leisure with Tracy and Michelle. Take it away, sisters.
Hi, everybody. We once again thank you for tuning in, Sisters of Leisure. I am Tracy. I'm one half of Sisters of Leisure. And we are living every day and seeking and understanding real events.
And I am Michelle, the little sister.
And she just had a birthday, you guys. So she is
Happy birthday.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday. Anyway, without further ado, I just want to introduce this wonderful, amazing woman, Felicia Flores. I had the pleasure of meeting her on Facebook. Sometimes you can really meet amazing people through social media.
Yeah.
And I would always watch her and I'm like, she is so jazzy. She is so sharp. You know, I would love to meet her one day. And eventually it happened. See, whatever you want and desire, God will put it into fruition.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just so honored for you to be here today. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here. And we appreciate you.
Oh, no, thank you. Thank you. No, I'm honored. I'm absolutely honored because I told you when I met you, I was like, why we didn't connect sooner? But you know what? God has everything planned out. And I was like, you are so amazing. And you got this awesome podcast. I was like, whatever, I want to be a part of this because I love it. And so I'm honored you guys having me on.
Thank you so much. So let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
How did you become this amazing person that you are in starting your business?
You know what? I appreciate the compliment. I didn't even think I was amazing. I mean, I'm Felicia, but you never kind of think that one day you're going to be, bald or lose your hair due to, I have alopecia. I didn't expect that to happen. So I never knew all of this would follow. You know what I mean? I knew that there was a calling of mentorship that God was calling me to do. I just didn't know what it was. I used to think it was like for, at-risk girls, but then it's like this happens. And then it just propelled me to go forward with, with this. So yeah, it started basically, I've suffered from alopecia. It started back in 2001. I want to say I went completely bald in 2007. But I was hiding it with a wig. And I finally revealed myself in 2015 to everyone. Like my family didn't know, my parents didn't know, most people didn't know. You had to be really, really, really close to me. And even then, you know what I mean? I was hiding it. But most people didn't know I suffered from alopecia. They always thought I was so bubbly and so, but inside I had this thing that I was hiding. So, but it's always been called to my heart to do something, and to connect with people just to help them cope with whatever issues that they have regarding their hair. So once again, I thought I was going to be, at-risk teenage girls, but it actually ended up, this was my calling. And honestly, God has just been leading the way. He's just been laying stuff on my heart, and it has just been coming to fruition, on his time. I will say.
Yeah. So we didn't say you have a foundation or business. What is it called? What are you doing?
Okay, so I have quite a few.
Okay.
The true Jamaican is coming out. I have quite a few. So this right here is baldandfree.org, and basically it will be a nonprofit organization, just basically helping people who've lost their hair or who are going bald, just to get that support and encouragement that they need, to kind of help build them up. And then the other aspect of it is that annually we'll be throwing the BaldieCon, which will be an annual event. Yes. And that right there was something that I've been planning for years, and just it was just the right time, and it was just like I just got to go ahead and do it. So I do that, but on top of that, I also have a hair salon. I just closed it during the pandemic, and it's Girlfriend Salon and Spa. So I still operate under Girlfriend Salon and Spa, and not to mention I have a boutique called key pieces. So that
Okay.
I'm a flight attendant. So look, there's just so many layers to this.
You know what?
But,
Because
and I'm also a flight attendant and a mom, and a partner. So it's just,
hey, I love that. That's beautiful, because why not? Why not? Like, who says that we have to be in this box of I am whatever your job is, your 9 to 5 is? Why do we put ourselves in that box anyway? So I love that you're a multifaceted woman, and why not? Why not? I love
I
that.
do. I say, some people guilt me, not some people, probably, oh, your mom, you got to sacrifice this, sacrifice that. But I've noticed that in any kind of success, or in just watching people who are successful or just doing what they love to do in their passion, it always comes with a sacrifice. Like, it's never peaches and cream. You know what I mean? It's easier to clock in and out 9 to 5, because you know that you're going to work, you got a 9 to 5, you're going to get your check. All you got to do is this minimal amount and you're going to get your check. But when you say, I want to branch off into entrepreneurship, well, that's a whole different story. Like, it's taking time. Like, you're not working 9 to 5. I'm working out of a 24-hour day. I could be working 21 of those 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? Trying to work your business, grow your business, manage your business. So it's definitely not easy, but it can be done. Like, it can be done. And no one, like you said, Michelle, should be, constrained to just confined to say, hey, I got this 9 to 5. You are able to do it, and you can juggle it. It's possible. It's not easy,
Everything.
but it's possible.
Yes. So I have a question for you. Now, you have the Baldie Free. Now I have your merch, because you do have merch, and these come in a lot of different colors. She got the shirt and the beanie. You see?
Yes, honey.
You got the shirt and the beanie.
Yes. Okay.
It's getting cold, y'all. So y'all gonna need to get this.
It's so warm. Thank you. Thank you. So I have the merch. The merch is available on baldingfree.org. And a lot of people don't know this, but like the BaldieCon stuff, it wasn't like I had like major sponsors. I had sponsorships for items, but thank you. See the bag, which we will discuss, because for the people who weren't there, they got those BaldieCon bags. And see, that was in the little swag bag. But people don't know that I self-funded that. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I had a major company come in and just pay for all of this stuff. Like, this was truly, it's my first one, truly a passion project of mine. And it was like self-funded, but I did have help from family, friends and stuff like that to help me succeed in that and help fund it. But it was really more like a mini crowdfunding, but basically, it was self-funded. So it wasn't like I had a major corporation. So I'm so excited to have the merchandise. That stuff went to pay for all that other, all that stuff. But I'm just so happy that you ladies enjoyed it and you were there.
And so when Tracy told me about BaldieCon, I was like, whoa, first off, love the name, like epic, right? And so I was like, so with BaldieCon, you say that's a love project, correct? You self-funded it. So walk us through the steps of like how that whole thing, because I know I opened up a salon, a suite, and almost lost my brain doing that process. But the thing is the journey is such a beautiful, now that I look back on it, I know these journeys that we're going to go through are just so beautiful. And like, it's entrusting in the unseen. So tell us how that went for this huge event. Like, that's big.
Well, so the thought and the passion was there, and my idea and the vision was there. So the vision was always there. It was just more like, okay, well, how am I going to fund it? I don't necessarily have a nonprofit yet. What am I going to do? But I really do want to engage with my community. You know what I mean? I want to be able to give them something to, and for myself as well, to share this gift of the gift of love and the gift of all of us having purpose. So what can I do? And it's so crazy, because I'm gonna tell you what happened, right? I approached a few people about it a few years ago, and I was supposed to link up with some other folks, and that just kind of went, it was just the pandemic. It was crazy. Really, the pandemic just set everything back. then this year, February 22, I was just like, you know what? I have to, I need to do this, and I needed a sign, right? And I was walking off the plane. Excuse me, that's it so much. I was walking off the plane, and I saw Jada Pinkett's mom, right? It was she was masked up, and she was like, "How did you recognize me?" I think to myself, honey, I know, okay? I know the bone structure. I know she had the mask on or whatever. And I told her about my idea. She loved it. And, you know, she was just like, I said, hey, one day I would like to have Jada on me. And she looked at me and smiled, you know, like, okay. You know, but I just took that as a sign. I was like, this is it. And then just reaching out to people to speak and stuff like that, it just gave me motivation. Like, you know what, Felicia, you need to do it. You need to do it. But it was hard for me because I have so many things going on. I'm a flight attendant. I run, you know, I do hair, and I had that aspect. So, and then I have to be a mother. So it's managing that time. And I kind of got discouraged. I don't say discouraged, but I kind of like pulled back a little bit. Then one day I was able to, it just so happened that I got a break from flying, right? I got a break from flying, and that's when it just hit me like, I'm off. I need to be doing, let me just go ahead and do this. Let me just do this, you know? And, you know, my father chipped in, my mom chipped in, my sister chipped in. And, you know, I was just working just to get it done. And I was just like, I need to do this. You know what I mean? And literally, people don't know this. The planning started probably like full motion August 1st.
Oh, wow.
July 31st for an event of September 24th. You know, I work better under pressure, but that's the sort of my time frame. So I wanted to do something that was intimate, that was going to be impactful, that I knew that I could manage on my own, because I know it's going to grow. And then those years that I've been kind of holding back, it's just getting the paperwork in the back end together for it. So, you know what I mean? It just all came together. In picking the panelists, like some of these ladies I knew from before, and they were just powerful speakers. And then some I knew that they had that professional expertise that, you know, we need to know and hear from. And it just all literally, it just came together. And I had such a great team of people that it just worked. And the energy in that room, I mean, I'm still in awe of it. People still talking about it. It was just nothing but love and positivity, and just everyone was just so encouraged. Everyone left so fulfilled. And that is the goal that I truly saw manifest. And it just made my heart melt. You know what I mean?
So you have alopecia.
Yes.
So do I. But do you just serve people that have alopecia, or do you open your services to everyone?
Oh, no, I do. I don't even really have many people with alopecia. I don't have alopecia clients. Let's say I don't do wigs or anything like that. I do people with full grown natural hair, cuts, color. Like, you know, I always joke around all the time. I say, hey, I don't have any hair, so I can focus on you guys. So I'm traditional, you know, I don't do wigs or anything like that, but I do weaves, cuts, colors, you know, natural, you know, stuff like that. That's what I do.
Mm-hmm. Now, as far as your nonprofit is concerned, though, can anybody be a part of it, or can come to your events?
Anybody can be a part of it. And because one of the things I definitely wanted to do and to focus on with the BaldieCon and also Balding Free is for inclusiveness. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be just, even though I do have alopecia, is near to dear to me, obviously, but there's also people who are suffering from other things that's just as equally important, if not, to me, more important. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like there's people who are going through cancer treatment and they're facing life and death. I mean, and they're going bald. I mean, I just can't think that my alopecia is more important than that. You know what I'm saying? They're facing death, you know, and possibilities. And so, and even with lupus, with the scarring of the hair, like, okay, yeah, my hair is smooth, thank God, but there's a lot of people who don't have that luxury, and they may have lupus and they have the scarring of the scalp. And so I know that could bring down your self-esteem. So I didn't want to just pinpoint, and that's the reason why I don't want to just pinpoint it to alopecia, because the one thing that we all have in common is that we are bald. That's it. And definitely, I don't want to block out the friends and family who support him, because we need those people. Like, we can't just sit up here and say, nope, it's just us Baldies and that's it. Because to me, then that starts to be cliquish. You know what I mean? If somebody wants to support you and love on you, let's allow them to. You know what I mean? And so that was one of the beauty of it. Is like everyone was there, people with hair, people without hair, to literally to love on us. And people need that, because you don't know what they're going through. You don't know the mental capacity. Remember the 12-year-old girl who committed suicide? Like stuff like that, it just breaks my heart. And so if they knew that they had a community of people who could just love on them, you know what I mean? It could make their journey so much easier. And that is exactly what Bald and Free and the BaldyCon is strives and sets out to do.
Yeah, because I know that it, you know, I'm sure, I'm positive that there are women out there who watch you guys, you know, Bald and Free, BaldyCon. Like my sister, she's on, you know, she's always doing encouraging things, because, you know, beauty, a lot of times hair is made to be, you know, a definition of what a woman is, you know. And so I can see how just now starting to be on social media, to doing interviews, to just, you know, being confident in who you are can be such a big thing. So how did you build your confidence? What did you, I mean, you got good, I tell my sister, you better be lucky your mama and daddy got good DNA.
Girl, stop. No. Michelle, stop it. Okay.
I mean, for real.
No. You know what? It didn't, not say it didn't come overnight. I've always been even with hair, you know, I always had a personality. You know what I mean? What I try to focus on is what I want a lot of people to focus on who are going through any form of hair loss, is that you are who you were before your hair. And focus on that. Like, I've always been bubbly. I've always loved fashion. I've always loved to travel. I've always been like a people person. And that didn't stop me. And I think that the more I focused on my passions, is the less I thought about me being bald. You know, it really kind of helped it out. You're going to go through that period of like, you're like, oh my gosh, I went through a period of just like high anxiety, you know, because you're not used to people staring at you, you know, with your hair. You're like, I was just used to blending in. You know, I had a wig and I was just like everybody else. So, you know, you're used to blending in. But when you don't have, you don't have a wig on, it looking at you like, oh, this shit don't have no hair. And I'm like,
and here's the deal,
okay.
You don't have no hair, and then you're confident. You when you step in a room, it's like all eyes on you, and it's a good thing. See, and women out there who got on a wig right now and afraid to take it off because they are ashamed, don't, because the blend in, that's the thing. Who want to blend in?
So nobody, honey, these dudes out here, honey, they asking for exotic. Okay, you want exotic? I got to exotic, honey. Look at, you know, so you want exotic? I'll give it to you. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing though. If you're not ready to do it, it's just not your time. I don't want to force anybody, but you can still be in the presence, because I still want you to get that encouragement to know that when you are ready to let go of the will, because it will happen, you are going to get hot sweats, honey, night sweats, honey, and the heat going to bother you, honey. You are going to get to the point where you want to drop that daggone wig. So when that time comes, just know you have a community here that is ready to praise you and love on you. But you know, if somebody wants to support and they keep on wearing a wig, that's fine, because it's hard. It's not an easy thing to walk around here with no hair and be bald. It's not, because it's not the norm. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so you have to be a brave kind of person to accept that kind of heat. You know what I mean? To wear your hair bald. So whenever I see a bald, I'm like, wow, she has courage. But everybody's not there yet, and it's not for me to judge, and it's okay. You know what I mean? You know, no one is forcing you to lose your weight. You don't have to go bald, but you could still come in and you could still be a part of the sister and brotherhood. You know, you could still be a part of the community, because deep down that you are bald underneath, you know what I mean? But you're just not there yet. But just know people still love on you. You know what I mean? They still, you know what I'm saying? So that confidence will come. I mean, I think if you focus on who you are and who you've been, that truly helps you to to build that confidence.
Yes, because I literally don't realize I don't have hair.
Right? Yeah, you don't.
I
Until
don't
the sun
realize
start
it.
hitting it, and then I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? You're like, why you keep on patting your hair? I'm like, we out in the woods, and I feel it. You know, the bugs don't. They landing. So you know.
Oh my. So what are your interests outside of what you do every day?
My interests are just managing everything. I love fashion.
Yes.
I've always been that way. I'm sorry. I've always been that way. You know, I'm from New York, child. That's how it was going. You have to be sharp, and you had to be. But I've always been that way. I've always loved doing hair. So and I've loved to travel. So I'm literally doing all the things that I love to do, and that's just my like literally everyday thing. You know, it's like I have 7 days of the week. I may have a day to myself, if that, on Sunday, and that's just, you know, it could be that. But it's always managing, and sometimes it doesn't feel like work at all. You know what I'm saying? It does get exhausting because you're doing so much and you're trying to accommodate so many people and do so many things. But you know, I'm still a work in progress in that area. I'm not gonna say I'm perfect. You know, I do some days I just want to throw in the towel and just say, can I get a few days break? I don't want to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And that's natural, and that happens. I've learned not to beat myself up about those days and moments that I just don't have the physical or mental capacity to post a photo or to you know, go outside and play, or I don't know, you know, to do some or attend an event. Like sometimes those pressures, it's just, especially when you have a lot going on, and then people never understand what you may have going on. You know, they just always assume like, girl, she got it together, but you don't understand the stuff that makes the train run, you know what I mean? And how much is required of you, you know, and especially if you're trying to, you know, you don't want to fail, and you want to be successful, then you got that on your, you know, your brain. And so mentally, sometimes it's like, I have to take a break, and you know what I mean? And people should too, and shouldn't be ashamed of it. You know, I used to feel bad about it, but now I'm like, look, I love you, but I just can't. Give me a day or two. Let me just regroup, and then, you know.
I used to struggle with that. I used to struggle with taking a nap and getting some rest. But I'm learning.
I'm a professional nap taker, Tracy. Okay, I'm a professional nap taker, honey. I can go in a deep sleep in 30 minutes and be good. Okay, I'm a professional nap taker. But no, you really need it, because you can get burned out, and it's very easy to get burned out. You know, but I always tell people who ask me, especially about entrepreneurship, it's not something that is, it's not easy. I don't know who told you that you were going to leave your corporate job and you're going to work for yourself and it'll be easier. It's actually 10 times harder, but it's more rewarding, and you're rewarded. You're not doing it for the man, you're doing it for yourself. But it does require a lot, you know, and in order to be successful, you have to sow that seed. And the thing is, you don't even know how long somebody's been working on a goal or a dream, you know what I mean? You may see it flourish, but you don't know, they could be working on that thing for years, you know what I mean? And it's now coming into fruition. That's why I always say, it's always on God's time. God's time is everything. He didn't want me to do it 3 years ago. He didn't want me to do it 4 years ago. You know what I mean? He didn't want me to do it last year. He wanted me to do it when it was supposed to be done. So I don't necessarily go on people's timelines. You know, I go up by what God said. If it's flowing right and God's putting everything in place, it's right. If there's roadblocks, okay, that's a sign it's not time yet. Just hold on. It's not your turn. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So let us know, like, what would you say to someone who's watching, who, you know, may want to start their business, whatever it may be? Like, what do you wish someone would have told you in starting and being an entrepreneur? Like, you know.
Oh yeah. I will say this. I won't say. I'm just telling you, guys. If you could do it on your own, do it on your own. Not to join with people, but if there's something that you can do on your own, do that first. And then you could bring on people who you guys are like-minded, and especially with funding. If you can fund something on your own, like when I have my salons or whatever, I never chose a place or rent that I couldn't afford had I had nobody in the chair. When you're going into business, you have to think of it as if it's only you. And sometimes that bites me in the butt, not bites me in the butt, but because I like to do everything by on my own. And it's hard for me to ask for help or, stuff like that. Cause I'm like, no, I got it, when I probably do need help. But initially I feel like when starting a business, or like you were opening up a salon, do something that you can afford, that if there's nobody in that chair, that you are able to afford to run that business, because people are not guaranteed. You know what I mean? You can't depend on people per se to, to handle that. Be sure that you're able to handle it on your own. That way, when it comes, you're good. If it falls back, you're still good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then, two, I would say, don't worry about competition. There is no competition. You are it. Honey, McDonald's, don't sit up there and ask Burger King, can I move across the street, honey?
Okay.
Don't ask Popeyes, can I move down the street? Don't nobody ask each other nothing. They just do it because everybody has a different product. Everybody has a different delivery. Everybody has a different flavor. You know what I mean? And some people may not like your flavor. Some people may not like my flavor. And it's okay. There's several others, and that's totally fine. But do what your heart is set out to do. I feel like if you follow your passion, everything else will fall in line. But don't focus on your goals and don't worry about waiting, and do it now. Do it now.
Yeah.
Go out and do it.
Yeah.
I love it. I absolutely love that, because like we learned in church today, once you make a decision, trust and believe God is right there backing you up all the way.
All the way. Nobody, they could talk about you. They could talk bad about you. They could try to block you. You don't even see it, honey. I'm pretty sure people have said stuff. I'm like, honey, I don't even care. I was just focused, because none of that concerned me. Because see, you want that genuine, your genuine passion to flow into the project or whatever you're trying to birth. You feel me? I didn't care what was anybody saying. So people need to just block all that out and just continue to focus on what it is that you want and intend to do.
Yes. So tell us how people can get in touch with you or follow you on social media.
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram at Baldie Free. And then on the website also, which will have updated information on the BaldieCon. You can also purchase merchandise on there. There you go, Baldie Free. Look, the mugs, Baldie Free. Go to baldiefree.org. Thank you so much, Tracy. Yes. Go to baldiefree.org. You can also follow those social media handles on Facebook too, Baldie Free as well, and BaldieCon. Go on Instagram, follow baldiecon.com, where we have updates. I'm so excited about next year. I have a few surprises for you guys, and y'all not gonna want to miss it. Tracy, Michelle, I'm not gonna let y'all down. I'm not gonna let the Baldie community down. But next year is going to be lit, and so I'm just excited.
I'm excited. I'm excited for you, because when Tracy said it, I was like, do you know how huge this is gonna be in like next year? Like, I was just like, that's gonna be freaking huge. Like, because it runs so deep with us. And so like I can just see it. I can see it being just like amazing. It was already amazing. Tracy said it was nice. So I can see it just being triple time, and the growth is gonna be.
Thank you so much, Tracy. Look, I look forward to seeing you there, honey. We're gonna cut up.
Okay.
Gonna be there.
Definitely.
But yeah, follow me on the social media handles. I have a few little I'm gonna be doing some gift giveaways of these goodie bags that Tracy has showed you of our sponsor. So look out for that. Just follow me on Instagram and Facebook.
Yes. Well, I just want to say thank you again, Felicia, for being on our podcast. You're absolutely amazing. I'm so grateful to call you friend.
Yes, thank you.
It's just a blessing, and we just look forward to your next event and upcoming things that you're going to be doing in the future.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I'm glad I met you guys, you ladies, and I just cannot wait for the future. So
Yeah.
Blessings to you both. I love what you guys are doing.
So you're going to have to come back and tell us about, before next year. But I want to say real quick, if any of the business owners that's on here watching us, Sisters of Leisure, contact us on our Facebook, our Instagram. If you want to come on our podcast and, share your business, share your story, we are here. We want to listen. We want to just engage with you. So contact Tracy and I, our social media, our link tree. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Talk
Let's
about
do
this
it. Talk about it.
Yeah. Thank you. And we will see you in 2 weeks.
Bye, guys.